This is McGann, and I'm going to start a series on analyzing Disney princesses. Today, I'm going to go through the whole spectrum up until Tiana. And right now, I'm only going to look at the princesses that are in the Disney Princess franchise, and I might come back later and pick up the others. But let's get started. I know everybody is super savvy about most of the Disney princesses, or at least the ones that have been coronated officially as Disney princesses. We have some that fall through the cracks, like Giselle from Enchanted or Éowyn from The Black Cauldron. And then we have some princesses that really have nothing to do with royalty, like Mulan. But to just go through a brief recap, you have the original princesses, which would be Snow White, Cinderella, and Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. And those girls are ornamental, essentially. I mean, they don't have a lot of speaking roles. They don't have a lot of thought process. They basically come off as the dumb girls waiting to be rescued. Like, they need a man. They have to have their problems fixed through a man because they can't think for themselves. I mean, in Snow White, she is about to get her heart cut out by the hunter, but he lets her go. She doesn't try to fight back and run away. He tells her to run away. So she doesn't even have enough of a brain in her head to run away for herself when she's in danger. And with Snow White too, she also can't save herself at the end. Her friends can't save her. The only person who can save her is the prince. Then you have Cinderella, who is completely passive, and even when she tries to do something and get ready for the ball, her stepsisters tear up her dress so she can't go, and someone has to come save her in the form of magic. And I have heard over and over again, I'm not a huge fan of the Cinderella cartoon, so I haven't watched it in years, but I have heard the mice speak more than Cinderella does in the movie. So it seems to question how important she is, other than being a pretty girl in a pretty dress. And at the end of Cinderella, she doesn't come to the prince herself. She doesn't, get in a secret carriage or walk her butt to the castle. He has to come find her, or actually his servants have to come find her and bring her to the castle themselves because she won't speak up for herself. And then we have Aurora, which is definitely the best of the three, and she's got the most personality that we get to see. But still, ultimately, she is cursed by somebody else. She is controlled by someone else's magic, and the prince has to come save her. And even though Aurora had no idea she was a princess and she was cursed, so she had no control over when she went to sleep or anything like that, it was no bad decision making on her part, she still was completely reliant on other people to control her life for her. And then we skip forward about 30-something years and we have the second golden age of Disney princesses, which includes Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, and Pocahontas. And if you notice, I mean, they're all different, but they all kind of have the same motivating issues in their storylines, which is either their parents, society, or a combination of both are holding them in a place that they don't want to be. Because Ariel wants to be a human. Well, you can't be a human. You're a mermaid. Too bad, so sad. Belle wants to go have an adventure, and somehow she has this adventure, but it ends up in a romance kind of thing. It's a little bit disappointing that Belle was just like, oh yay, love, let's quit everything. And the same with Jasmine. She was like, I want out of this palace. I want to experience the rest of the world. Oh, a boy, forget about that. And Pocahontas was very receptive to meeting somebody from a completely different culture and world from what she had experienced. And she was basically the only one of her people that were receptive to that. So both her father and society were upset about that. Just like with Jasmine, she had to marry a prince because that was the law of the land, and it was something her father was reinforcing until the end of the movie. And with Belle, she just couldn't really do anything she wanted because society said, hey, you're a girl, you're supposed to get married and have babies. And she rebelled very hard against that and then turned around, and that just seemed to be what she wanted all of a sudden. And Ariel, of course, she never was really against the idea of getting married. She was a very big adventurer, but then she was like, oh boy, forget that again too. So, I mean, all through the 80s and 90s, we have the very clear theme of, yes, we're strong, independent women. We're going to rebel against the system until, oh, look, a cute boy comes along. So that's what I have at this point, and my other videos are going to start exploring the more modern princesses more individually.